Hi everyone, it's August 21st, 2021. You'll probably be seeing this video August 21st or at the latest probably Sunday, August 22nd. So I wanted to give a life update. A little busy this past week. I am feeling much better today, more well rested, and quality of sleep is very important. Let's get to the juicy stuff right off the bat. The exemption for the vaccine mandate, it is still pending. It's probably going to take, I don't know, at least a few more weeks. I'm anticipating it's going to be at least another month before they come to a decision. And that's about it. My union has fought back with the hospital, saying that the notice was too abrupt, which I completely agree with. But the union never, my union has not really went out of their way and said that the mandatory vaccines mandate, the vaccination mandate, was unconstitutional. They never really said that. They only, so they kind of like half-assed it. They just said, well, we still agree with the vaccines, which to me is BS, but we want to delay it, because they literally only gave you, by the time I got the notice, they only gave you like 2 weeks. And one of my coworkers was on vacation for like a week when it happened. So what happens if you're gone? I mean, at most, I've taken 2 week vacations. I rarely do, but I mean, back in the day, I went to Europe and I took 2 weeks. What would happen if I didn't have access to my email, my work email? I mean, who checks their work email all the time and on vacation? But I digress. So they want to maybe extend that, but it's kind of irrelevant at this point for me, because I already turned it in. So I'll keep you updated on that. Outside of that, my wife last, is it Sunday or Monday? All the days get mixed up. She went on a business trip, just a few hours away, but she had to stay overnight. So I had solo duties, father duties, just one kid, thank goodness. And she made my life a little bit easier. She was able to prep some of the meals, and I just put it into the crock pot, and that helped tremendously. But even with that, having a helping hand always helps, and you don't really realize and notice it until the person's gone. So it was a little bit more challenging when you're doing daddy duties on your own, but it was okay. The one challenge that occurred was, I forgot which night it was. I think it was Sunday or Monday night. I was about to give her a bath, and there was no warm or hot water, and I cranked it up and it still wouldn't go. I went to my water heater. I adjusted the thermostat just to see, and it still wasn't working. And luckily, that day it's not too cold. It's not the winter time, so the water wasn't ice cold by any stretch, but it wasn't that warm. So I was able to just have her stand up, have my daughter stand up, and I was gonna just get a cup of water and just kind of put it on her real fast and just wipe her down. And she actually was okay with it. So that happened like Monday night, I think. And I was trying to just, I wanted that day just to be able to relax. And she's getting up from bed constantly. I'm hearing her, cry in the camera. I'm trying to get an emergency plumber to fix it, because I need hot water. I mean, luckily I showered before, but I need it. The good news is that they responded really fast, and the guy was very professional. He came out. I tried to start the what do you call it? The pilot igniter, and that didn't work, because the worst thing you want is for someone to come out, have to pay them, and find out that it's an easy fix. Luckily, he came out, and it was something that was beyond my scope, so he had to replace like this wiring and this part. So he did that, and it was done. So I was like, oh, thank God. But oh man, it just adds like to the stressors, right? You just want to be able to relax. Other than that, what else? Oh, I've been doing a little bit more cardio as far as my health and fitness routine. You guys remember I did my physical, and my glucose was a little bit over. And just to be a little bit safe, do a little bit of cardio doesn't help. So I've been adding about 10 minutes or so I do a little bit of high intensity interval training on my elliptical in my garage, and then I follow it up with mountain climbers. I'm contemplating if I should get a treadmill, um, because I feel like running is the only thing that gets my heart rate really up. And I wouldn't say I miss it per se because it's very monotonous, but I like to have that option. And I just have to decide. I have a little bit space there. I was gonna put a leg press machine because my garage is pretty much filled with the equipment now. So I need to decide if it's worth it. Some people might say, well, just run outside. That is true. That being said, concrete is very hard on my feet, and you guys already know about my leg problems, and I can only run for a small amount of time before my legs start hurting. I think the last time I tried running, I ran 3 times a week, about 15 minutes, and I was getting shin splints and my knees were hurting so bad. And that's something that I haven't been able to fix. But even if it's just for a few minutes, like 5 minutes, I could do. I was thinking about doing maybe 5 minutes hard running, and then 5 minutes elliptical, and then 5 minutes mountain climbers or something, jump rope or something like that, and call it a day. So that's about it. And last but not least, made this far. Earlier in the video, I talked about and discussed how I feel a little bit better because I had much better sleep. And that is just essential because the last week or so, my sleep has been not the greatest. And it's because my daughter has been having this sleep regression, as the experts call it, and usually around the 2-year mark or a little past the 2-year mark, which she is. They tend to make noises, get up, and stuff like that. So that one day she did it 2 times at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and that just disrupts your REM sleep. And I've been watching some videos on sleep patterns and stuff, and it's just not good when it's interrupted. And but the other thing that it's been doing is, when you're asleep and you're just relaxing, it's like my body's in this fight or flight response. It's just your instincts, because as a father you want to protect, right? Just like in the animal kingdom, right? The lioness or whatever, and the cubs. So you want to protect your own, right? Your babies. So what's been happening is I'm asleep and I have a little, the little baby camera right here at all times with the volume at a decent volume, decent level, and she'll just abruptly start crying. So when you're just asleep and you're trying to relax, she'll just rah, and then you just like pop up immediately. I pop up immediately. I gotta look into the camera and make sure nothing's crazy. If she's just crying a little bit, I won't go in. But if she stands up, I like have to go in. I put her down immediately. I rub her tummy, put her back to sleep, and she's only been recently doing this, but it causes a lot of anxiety. And months ago when I did a live video, my wife was having really bad insomnia, and she's getting that racing heartbeat. And I had like a friend that was having the same problem. He actually had to do an EKG, and it was fine. But even when you think that you feel okay, your body's telling you just constantly on edge, and you just feel like you just have this anxiety. And I already have a little bit of anxiety. And I'm not blaming her. I mean, she's just a baby, but it's not good. And then other times, like it's a little bit past 10 o'clock, I'm starting to wind down. It's like 10:30, about to just settle in. About to settle in. 10:45, boom, she starts crying again, and then I'm up again, and it's just my heart's just like racing sometimes. My blood pressure's like 140. That's pretty hypertension. So I'm trying to increase the cardio. I've been eating a little bit better. I will admit I was getting, I wouldn't say sloppy, but I was probably eating a little bit too much later in the day. So I've been kind of just being a little bit more aware, eating a little bit slower, increasing my cardio, and I'm still good. But it's good to just be aware of these things, because you don't want things to get worse, and then you don't want it to progress to getting worse. So it's close to 10 minutes now, and I think that's pretty much it. There's not much more I can say. Thank you for all the support once again. Give you the updates as they come along, but I will admit that, and I said it last time, my mood has been up and down. Some days I feel pretty down, kind of depressed, and it's kind of hard because I'm supposed to be the rock of the family. I'm supposed to and that's fine. I embrace that. I need to be the strong one, but I need to keep it together. I need to be strong. Oh, the one really last quick thing. You remember I talked about that emergency generator project? It's still ongoing. I'm gonna spare the details because it's just gonna get me so annoyed. And I was pretty pissed yesterday, but we were going on months and months and months, and at most it only worked for like 1 week, and I just keep getting. The owner is nice, but I don't feel like they know what they're doing, and I'm starting to get very angry with it. I mean, when you're spending, I'll put it this way, the generator itself costs like, if you look it up, for a 22 kilowatt, it's like $4,500. Okay, it's not chump change. That on top of labor, it's a lot of money. So I want my generator. The only small caveat was that silver lining is that electricity hasn't gone out. Knock on wood. I don't even have wood around here. It's over there. Knock on it later. But it hasn't gone out, thank goodness. The weather has actually been, it's pretty overcast right now. A little bit sunny, but not too hot. And I've been lucky, but it's so frustrating. And I'll keep you updated on that. Hopefully I'll get a working one very soon. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.